We're diving into the strategy for Hollywood Studios, a park that packs Disney's most complex attractions into a very specific physical footprint. Unlike other parks that offer a mix of high-capacity theater shows and minor diversions, Hollywood Studios features the highest concentration of e-ticket headliners on the property, from Star Wars to Toy Story Land. This chart compares the actual acreage of the four theme parks against their average daily attendance numbers. You can see the imbalance here. Hollywood Studios often welcomes a crowd similar to Epcot, but does so within a footprint that is significantly smaller. While the marketing promises a casual stroll through a movie set, the reality for most guests is a morning of high-stakes app refreshing, followed by a physical wall in the afternoon heat. Because of that guest density and the demand for its top rides, this becomes the most strategy-dependent park in the resort. Choosing to wing it here usually results in trading your peak energy hours for a view of the pavement in a standby line. Your entire morning sequence is dictated by two specific rides: Star Wars Rise of the Resistance and Slinky Dog Dash. Rise of the Resistance typically carries a 90 to 120-minute standby wait. You can choose to skip that line by purchasing a Lightning Lane single pass, which averages about $22 per person. For a family of four, that adds roughly $100 to the daily budget, but it allows you to utilize a first hour of the park for other attractions instead of one single queue. Slinky Dog Dash faces similar pressure. If you don't secure a pass early, the standby wait frequently exceeds an hour before 9:30 in the morning. Bypassing the Slinky Dog queue requires you to be logged in and refreshing the app at exactly 6:59 a.m. to grab a multi-pass return time before they are gone for the day. Your morning strategy follows a decision tree based on buying a Lightning Lane for Rise of the Resistance. If you bought it, walk directly to Slinky Dog Dash. If not, use Rope Drop to rush to Galaxy's Edge before the crowds. Failing to execute either of these paths before the park officially opens leads to a morning spent in a 2-hour standstill. You have to choose between a high financial input or a high early morning effort. There isn't a middle ground that keeps you out of the longest lines. After the initial rush, the focus shifts to the secondary thrill rides, Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster. Jumping into a standby line for these at 1 p.m. is generally a poor trade-off, as you'll be waiting during the most crowded part of the day. These attractions are the ideal targets for subsequent multi-pass selections, rather than your morning priority. If you can't get a pass, crowds tend to thin out significantly during the final hour of operation, often dropping a 70-minute wait down to 20. Because of the park's layout and the lack of shade at many areas, most guests hit a physical wall after about 90 minutes of midday heat. Surviving the afternoon requires you to stop trying to brute force the thrill rides and pivot toward a recovery strategy. You can recover energy while staying in the park by utilizing high-capacity theater shows like the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular during the 2 p.m. peak. These shows offer 30 minutes of sitting in the shade or air conditioning with almost no wait time, which is a high-value return compared to standing in a ride queue. Dining offers another chance to rest, but popular spots like Sci-Fi Dine-In and Oga's Cantina require you to book a reservation exactly 60 days out. While these guarantee you time in the air conditioning, they also lock your group into a rigid schedule that can be difficult to change if you fall behind. A more flexible alternative is using mobile order for quick service locations, like Woody's Lunchbox. If you choose this route, be prepared to submit your order 45 minutes before you want to eat, and then you'll likely have to search for a table in the direct sun. Balancing these shows with your dining choices is what allows a family to maintain their stamina through the evening fireworks. The ultimate result of winging it at Hollywood Studios is paying premium prices to miss the park's most famous attractions. This matrix shows an ideal day depends on your group. For thrill seekers, a Rise of the Resistance single pass protects time for Galaxy's Edge and Tower of Terror. For families, focusing on Toy Story Land and shows preserves everyone's mood all day. You succeed at Hollywood Studios by aligning your schedule with your specific budget and how much walking your group can actually handle. Juggling early alarms, single passes, and 60-day reservation windows can make a vacation feel like a full-time job. I provide the mapping for these exact hurdles, so you don't have to spend your trip wondering if you're doing it right. The Walt Disney World First Timers Complete Planning Guide handles the math and the timing for you. It's available now at mydisneybrain.com. Managing the logistics before you arrive creates a safeguard, ensuring that the magic you traveled for remains the focus of